Hi, my name is Janine Johnson, and I am the host of the Green Table Talk. Luisa, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to share my story.
You donated your liver, Ian, to Jessica.
Like, I listed everything and he just turned and looked at me and was like, okay.
Continue doing you, continue raising awareness, continue to make everybody feel good and feel comfortable speaking out for themselves. Welcome to the Green Table Talk. I am your host, Janine Johnson. Today, it is my pleasure and honor to be sitting here with my good friend, Luisa. Luisa, thank you very much for joining us on the Green Table Talk again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
It's like we've been through the same battles,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
it's wonderful that to meet people that go through the same journey
Yes.
and end up inspiring you. Because way back, you were such an inspiration to me, and have you talk about the importance of organ donation and. I wasn't prepared to get to that point yet back then.
But
then things sped up.
yes,
So,
it was a great conversation, and that's what this episode is about. It's about revisiting people, amazing people that I spoke to previously, and see where they are now. I just wanted to touch base and see, how things have changed in your life, and your life has definitely changed. Last time we spoke together was over 4 years ago, and since then, I mean, you're still gorgeous and glowing, of course, but since then, my friend Luisa has received a transplant.
a double transplant.
Double transplants. My goodness, the blessings are just raining down upon you.
Yeah, I keep saying my hero is my hero saved me.
Yes, blessed, definitely blessed.
Blessed beyond my imagination.
Amazing. Oh, I love it. So let's go back. So you're living your life, things are difficult. We were discussing this previously, but what things was like for you? And, you needed a transplant and things were, let's go back. Tell me a little bit about that previously.
Well, I have I can't say I had.
That's
because I
right.
still have some organs inside that are polycystic kidney disease. That's what I have. And it's been a long journey. It's been a rough journey, painful journey,
Yes.
Emotionally draining journey, not just for me. As you know, when you're going through something like that you require a transplant, it's not only hard on you, but on all the family around you. And I've been fortunate to have a husband who I call my knight in shining armor, and my kids that, like I said, I have 3 mother hens in the house, and they check every move, they question everything I do. Are you okay? Yes, please leave me alone. I'm okay. They'll scream when I'm not okay, but it came to the point where my kidney function went down, and there was talk of putting me on the transplant list once I get to, I think, 12% kidney function, 12 or 13% kidney function. In the meantime, not only did I have cysts covering both my kidneys, but I had a lot of cysts on my liver, and some of them were the size of oranges. In 2006, I had to have 7 of those cysts de-roofed, and they couldn't go back in because, already my liver had suffered, it got scarred by doing all this de-roofing, right? But after that de-roofing in 2006, I was able to eat more because they were in a position where, like, my liver was pushing on my diaphragm.
Wow.
So it was pushing on my diaphragm, and when you eat, your stomach fills up, right? Then it applies pressure, and it would hurt. So you end up eating, smaller meals during the day, and I just,
It's a lot.
it was hard. It was just very, very hard. About a year and a half ago in 2023, I had gone to Florida. Everything was fine besides my usual, pains, which
Mm-hmm.
I was used to. It was part
And
of,
for the record, this is like you're carrying extra weight as well, right?
oh,
You feel.
yeah. Before I went downhill, I was 77 kilos. When I came out from the transplant, I was 49.
Oh my goodness.
So I won't tell you how much my liver weighed, but I will tell you that I was fine when I came back from Florida March 30th. April 2nd, I started having like not hives on my hands and arms, but it was pinkish. And of all the weirdest things, I had itchiness in the web, of the fingers and
Mm-hmm.
my toes. Like, and I didn't know what the heck was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying, like, I think I better change my laundry detergent, right? Change laundry detergent, still was there. In the meantime, I requested a family doctor's appointment, but I lost my family doctor because she retired.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to clinics here and there and meeting new doctors who don't know all your history, so they're not quite versed with what's going on.
Exactly.
So I called the nurse of my old nephrologist. I say old nephrologist because about 2 years ago, as the doctor was getting older, he uh, diminished his clients.
Mm-hmm.
So he was doing basically after transplant care more than patients who still need a transplant, right? So I called the nurse of my former nephrologist. Even though I was being followed at the Glen, which is the big hospital downtown. It's the Montreal University Health Center, and it's the Royal Victoria Hospital. Even though I was followed there, the secretary of my nephrologist, my old nephrologist, we became good friends. We became good friends. I mean, like every Christmas and every Mother's Day or something, I would give her a little something, her and the other nurse, because, when you call, it's the nurse that responds first.
Of
And
course.
her care has been like unbelievable. And it is thanks to her the way I was describing things, she says, "You know what? I'm going to have a talk with Dr. Lorcher, and we'll see what he thinks, and so on and so forth." I said, "Okay," and I said, "But don't forget," I said, "I also have cysts on my liver." So she goes, "No, no, don't worry about it. Dr. Lorcher knows everything," and so on and so forth. So based on his request, she said, "You know what? Get to the hospital as soon as you can, and bring a urine sample from home, but I'll come and get a paper at my office, and you'll go for a blood stat." Okay, she goes, "But hurry up because the place closes at 3 o'clock, right?"
At this point, are you concerned? Do you feel that, well, maybe?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
she knows something I don't know,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So anyway, I go do the bloods, I do the urine and all that. She calls me the day after. She goes, "Get your behind to the hospital stat." I go, "Why? What's going on? What's wrong with my kidneys?" Like, I never thought it was my liver causing the major problems. Now,
Mm-hmm.
at this point, 18
Yeah.
months ago, I never thought it was the liver. So she said, "Your bilirubin is up at 680," and so on and so on. My bilirubin? I go, "Wait." I said, "But bilirubin is like when you have babies and they're jaundice and you put them in the,
Mm-hmm.
I said to her, "What's going on?" She goes, "Well, we have to see. You have to get to the hospital because your liver doctor is there. And it was Dr. Lorcher who forwarded me to the liver doctor at the big hospital. And so I went. I said, look, my nephrologist sent me here because my bilirubin is at this number, and he suggested I get tests. Who's your doctor? I said, well, my doctor is Dr. Chaudhary, but my new nephrologist here is Dr. Alam. Okay, I think a half hour went by. Because, you know, when you go with the notice of a doctor, and the doctor said, if they have any questions, tell them to call me.
Yeah.
So I said, look, if you want, you can call the doctor. He, you know, gave me this number. And so I guess she believed me in triage and all that. I was in the waiting room for about half hour, and I see my liver doctor. My liver doctor is Dr. Chaudhary, and last year he was made head director of the MUHC transplant. He was made the director of the MUHC multi-organ transplant department. So he comes by and I said, oh, Peter, I says, catch him because, you know, I don't know if they called upstairs or whatever. So when my husband went to see him, he says, I'm actually coming down to see your wife, you know. So he comes to me and, you know, I was constantly scratching my hands, scratching my ankles,
Oh my goodness.
scratching my legs. At one point, I was telling my husband, take off my socks. Another point, okay, put them on because I'm freezing. And I was constantly going like this, you know, in the waiting room, like
Kind of scratch your back.
I was itchy all over. Anyway, and I was hot and I was cold. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh my goodness.
So he said to the nurse, he says, we got to do this, this, this. Anyway, they did the ultrasound, CT scan without contrast because it was going to damage my kidneys further,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So CT scan without contrast, and they did something where I blew in a machine, like I had to breathe something, but then I blew in a machine. So I said, my lungs? Like I didn't know what was going on. I was so, you know, and plus, how do you sleep at night? And so my husband, she doesn't. She's constantly burdening and constantly popping Tylenols to give her like 2.5 hours of relief because she doesn't last 4 hours. So I kept doing tests and tests, and the results came in that I had something called cholangitis. Cholangitis, and my bilirubin was up, and my liver was suffering. So
What's cholangitis? What's cholangitis?
well, it's an infection of the bile ducts, okay, that go from the liver to your intestines where you evacuate.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
And so, and I wasn't going to the bathroom. So they did tests. Like, I mean, I think every 2 weeks I was there doing more tests and more tests. And I was like, I was saying, look, I told the doctor, I says, look, if it's something bad, I'd rather you tell me now. I said, I came from Florida and I was fine. I said, did I pick up some virus or something? Because, you know, people pick up all kinds of weird viruses.
Of course.
They end up being bad ones, you know? I said, tell me now because, like, I don't know what the heck is going on. I've never had this feeling, you know? And as time went on, he says, yeah, your markers are high. So they put me on medication. They put me on something for the bile ducts to help it stay open. And then they gave me the thing you can get hooked on. Oh my God.
Like an opioid?
Yeah, an opioid. Oh my God.
It's okay.
I can't
okay.
remember. You see,
Yeah, it's okay.
that's one of the effects of transplant, that sometimes your memory, especially at the beginning.
Trust me, I know.
Okay. So
I get it.
yeah. So anyway, put me I mean, I know it's gonna come to me. It starts with an L. Anyway, so I was doing all these tests and it was starting to help. And on my birthday, 2024, 2024, like a whole bunch of time had gone by and I was, doing this. So October 2nd, 2024, the same doctors came, plus a specialist in GI. So the liver doctor, specialist in GI, and the kidney doctor came. One of those doctors I know is a transplant doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him and he met me in 2005. Tell me, your grandmother, did she have cysts on her liver and kidneys too? I said, yes. And your father, yes, both of them, So, uh, so he said to me, look, we have some good news and we have some bad news. I said, hit me with the bad news first. The bad news is that you're going to need a liver and kidney transplant. So I said, no, you're mistaken. I said, my liver was fine. I said, last year my liver was fine. No, but your liver now has gotten to the point where half of it is, the left lobe is not functioning.
Oh my goodness.
So I said, what are we going to do? How are we going? Well, we're going to, the good news is that we could help you on that by inserting a bile tube to collect your bile in a bag. I said, a bag? They have a bag for that? Like, the bags you normally think of is when you have colon cancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, yep, he says, it's going to help you to get rid of the bile. He says, you're going to have to take some medication. But he said, one way or the other, you're going to need a transplant.
My goodness.
They went in on this side over here with the tube, and like they went here, they kind of went upward because my liver was, like I said, compressing my diaphragm. So it went up like a U, and then it went down all the way to my intestines to help me eliminate, right? And boy, the liquid that was coming out was this ugly yellow, deep mustard. It was horrible to see that, and my kids didn't want to look at it. My husband even got
A little squirmish.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
How long was the surgery?
yeah, so they had to do that in surgical radiology.
How long was the surgery?
So the doctor went in, put the tube. Oh man, was it painful. Man, I said, give me something. I can't take the pain. Give me something. I can't take the pain. Oh, we're almost over. We're almost over. But it wasn't over. And so anyway, they did it like that. And they said, well, this is going to need to be changed every 6 to 8 weeks. 8 weeks, it's fine, even if it gets to 8 weeks.
So wait a second. They've got to go back in, take out the tube, and then go do it all
So
over
it's a
again?
tube. It's a tube, but in the tube, there's like a little wire or something like that. Okay. So they had to go in every 8 weeks to change this. And they gave me, and they would put on a brand new clean bag.
Gotcha.
So I had to wear the bag on my thigh over here. I had to wear the bag on my thigh. And so that, the stuff would, the liquid would drain.
Yes.
So,
Luisa, how long was the surgery, the initial surgery to put everything in?
it was about, the first time was about 30 because I kept on having pain wherever he went. I'm full of cysts inside. So wherever he went, my fear was the pain. I go, oh my God, are they busting a cyst? Are they busting a cyst? Because that was my pain. That was my pain all along, the cysts. And now I said, they went with it. They're going with a tube. If they rupture one of the cysts, they're going to have to open it. Like, that was my fear. And so I think it was like 35, 40 minutes. They say it's between 20 minutes and a half hour, the whole procedure. But because, it was painful, it was the first time. The next time, oh my God, the doctor had such a difficult time and I was in so much pain. My husband was freaking out. He was waiting outside. And when he saw me, after they changed it. I was in an office chair with wheels. They brought me outside, covered up, and I was like this.
Mm.
The pain, like I kind of passed out.
Wow.
Not totally passed out, but I was like finished.
Enough is enough. Yeah.
Enough is enough. So then the third time it was quite easy, or maybe it was the experience of the person. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it got to a point where I had to change it once a month
Wow. So you
because
have to go through that pain.
it was constantly being blocked by guess who? My cysts.
Mm.
So you know, these cysts, they're non-malignant cysts, but they're full of water. And when they're full of water, they compress.
Yeah.
So I went through that, and in January, they told me, like as months went by, they would measure my liver enzymes and my GFR, my kidney function, right?
Mhm.
So it kept going down. And because the last 3 years, I think they said, because the last 3 years my kidney function was below 20, they were putting me on the transplant list, not only for a kidney, but also for a liver. And if you have, if you require a transplant of the kidney, it's one type of waiting list, you know, because you could do dialysis in the meantime.
Mhm.
One of the doctors, like I met so many doctors, and one doctor said that it's not a good idea for me to do dialysis because the liver was in such poor condition, right? So as you know, dialysis might, you know, take away your toxin and ultimately be good to you, but it's stressful on the other organs, right?
Very true. Yeah.
So they said that no, we're putting you for a liver and kidney transplant, and it has to come from a deceased donor.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, so I had in my head that I was going to wait years and years.
Mm-hmm.
But the transplant nurse, she was a saint. Anytime I had a question or something, like, sorry for disturbing you. You know, can you please tell me, you know, please tell me this. And she goes, Mrs. Miniaci, I'm here for you. You can call me 10 times a day, you know,
Love it.
and so on. It's like, where do you find people like that?
Yes, it's true.
They're,
People like that make it easier. That's the thing. People
yeah,
like that make it
they
easier.
know that you're going through so much anguish and
A
so
lot. Anguish. You're nervous. You're scared. You're worried. You're everything. Everything.
yeah, she was so helpful in making me understand. And when, you know, at the point where like I kept getting infected, and towards the end, I didn't even last 4 weeks. The
Mm-hmm.
last time I changed bag, it was 3 weeks and 3 days. I didn't last the 4 weeks. And she helped me along tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
I call her I called Fotini, my nurse, the silent angel, because
Good angel.
you know, she was extraordinarily patient with me and gave me so much information. And she told me, she goes, Miss Miniaci, you're A negative. So there's lots of people that can donate to you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I go, what do you mean? I mean, even though I knew who could donate to who, when it comes to yourself, that information tends to leave your brain.
Yes.
It's like
Yep.
you're on
The
a different
knowledge that you
page.
have, all of a sudden, like you said, it doesn't compute anymore. You know what I mean? It doesn't register anymore. That's
Yeah.
why it's good to have people like that nurse that helped you out.
Oh, like I said, you know, a few times I'd call her. I said, Fotini, I'm sorry, but when I came last time, I was on information overload. Can you please tell me again? You know,
Mm-hmm.
like it was something else, like leading up to when they put me on the transplant. It was a roller coaster. And like I said, I had lost so much weight. I was wearing an extra large, and I was wearing small last
Wow.
small.
Wow.
Leggings were small, and I had to put those belts that they don't have a buckle in the front. They're basically an elastic, and they hang on to your two first, what do you call them? Not suspenders, loops
The
of your
loops,
pants.
yeah.
So, like
Wow.
I would depend on those elastic belts to keep my pants off because they were falling off. The
What was
snow.
your appetite like at that point? Were you
Oh,
still, I know you're
was
saying it was compressing, it was hard to eat, but at this point when you lost so much weight and what was your appetite like?
my appetite was non-existent. I was living basically on Boost and Ensure. Sometimes I was yellow, and I would ask my husband, I have one of those mirrors, a makeup mirror that's like 10 times magnifies. So you see every pore. And I said to my husband, I said, I think I'm yellow. For me not to get nervous, he says, no, he goes, what the heck? It's just the lighting and
You look fine. Yeah.
you're fine. But when I would go to the doctor, this nurse, she never said anything about me being yellow. Or sometimes I was great. I was great because my kidneys were in trouble. So one of the last appointments, I think in June or July, I went to see her. I says, Fotini, tell me the truth. I said, how yellow am I? So she looks at my husband, only to find out later on that when I used to ask my husband, he told her that he never told me the truth, right? He said, my wife is such a busy person and she's just a doer. She doesn't stop. Don't tell her she's yellow. And so she told me, but it's been a while, but you've had different degrees of yellowness.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I said, okay. I said, but I've been gray too, right? She goes, oh yes, your kidneys are suffering. She said, I said, but why is it I have a metallic taste in my mouth? Like I said to you, like I've had conferences for patients on PKD and so on and so forth, and getting close to transplant. I should have known all this information, but because I was now in that situation,
Yes. The
everything
information
went out.
escapes you. It just escapes you.
I was, like I said, I couldn't remember a thing. I couldn't remember a thing. And my husband used to tell me, goes, like, I don't understand. You were asking me this, later on when I got better, you were asking me this, I said, look, I don't know what it was. The stress of the disease did a number on me. I was like really hyperly stressed. Couldn't sleep at night. And when you have failing kidneys or a failing organ, you need your sleep.
Yes.
So at that point, the psychiatrist or psychologist,
Psychologist?
who can give you prescriptions?
I believe that's a psychologist. I believe. Don't quote me. No, the psychiatrist can as well.
Yeah, psychiatrist. No, over here, psychologists can't prescribe. Because my niece is a psychologist, she doesn't prescribe.
Yes.
So as part of the transplant team for patients that need a liver, there's a psychiatrist as part of the team. So I met with him a few times, and we talked about, how I'm feeling and so on and so forth. And he touched a chord. He touched a chord that, being Italian, being an Italian mother, you don't stop, you don't do, you have to learn to stop, to take care of yourself before anything else. Like and I looked at him and I wasn't saying anything. He says, yeah, so you're one of those typical mamas, right? And so I'm surely you can relate. You still, until the end, you just want to do so much. And
he hit the nail on the head with that one. He hit the nail on the head with that one. He pegged it correctly.
So he asked me a silly question. He says, so how many meals have you prepared ahead of time? When he said that, I started laughing. And my husband, he goes like this. Oh boy, you don't know the freezer downstairs and the freezer upstairs. Just like that. So
Because even though you're the one that's under the weather, you're the one that needs transplant. You want to make sure everything's prepared, make sure your family's fed, make sure everything's ready to go. That I get it. I get it.
it's my husband has been my rock. He has always told me to believe. And every time I used to prepare these meals ahead of time, he was there next to me, either chopping or sauteing or whatever, because I couldn't stand much. I would pass out easily. I would vomit constantly, and I would vomit bile. Like
Oh.
even just drinking a few sips of ginger ale. A friend came to visit, and she was here for a whole 5 minutes. And I called Peter. I go, Peter, bathroom. So he knew that, she goes, stay. She came with me, and I was vomiting and vomiting and vomiting, and there was not much coming out. It was just bile.
Yeah.
And I felt that my stomach was like bloating up like crazy, but I hadn't eaten. So, to eat, it was the Boost, Ensure. My husband would make an Italian soup called stracciatella, which is beaten egg in chicken broth. So
Okay.
that there was some kind of protein in there, and so on and so forth.
And that was you were able to keep that down?
I was able to,
Yeah.
but it was like 3-4 spoons.
Okay.
3-4 spoons. Then my husband would microwave a little bit more, and it was another 3 more spoons. I wouldn't dare have a cracker with that, because that was liquid. It wasn't really hard to digest, So I would have some of that. But at the end, I couldn't walk. I couldn't bend down. I was lightheaded, dizzy, constant nausea. I would go to bed, and would lie down on the bed, and the world was spinning. And so my husband would give me Gravol along with the medications that the psychiatrist prescribed, which was Ativan, to calm me down. And they would knock me out. Between both of them, they would knock me out, because that was the only way for me to recuperate some strength, was to have a full night's sleep.
And like you said, you need your sleep too, especially going through all of
And
this.
so, during the daytime, like both my son and my husband, and I have a son that's in Spain, and he would call me, he goes, Mom, what did you eat today? So my husband from the kitchen, ask her what she ate. She ate nothing today. Just been drinking water, and like, oh my God, one of my
That's a lot.
a
That's a
couple
lot.
of my neighbors down the street would bring all kinds of soups.
It
Pure.
sounds like you have a great community behind
I
you,
have
great family,
I
that
have an
great
army of
support
friends.
system. That's the word I'm looking for.
I have an army of friends that without them, who also support my husband and my son, because it wasn't easy here. My son had a major depression because he has PKD. And so watching his mother go through all this stuff,
Not easy.
he just gained so much weight. He was eating all kinds of stuff he shouldn't be eating, and he gained a lot of weight. And like a couple of times he had to pick me up in his arms to put me in the car because I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand. And then on August 29, Fotini, my nurse, says, we have a possibility for you. I go, what do you mean? I like, my mind, well, we have a possibility for transplant if you accept. What do you mean if I accept? Of course I accept. I screamed. My husband came down, my son. And I said, there's a possible transplant. Do I go? Yes, of course you go. And I picked up some clothes, not knowing that I wasn't going to need any clothes for a couple of weeks. I put some stuff in a bag, my night bag, and I went to the hospital at night. I got there, I think, at 8:30, and I had to go to the bathroom to pee, because the more I guess I was nervous, the more I had to pee. So I go in the bathroom. I had my phone in my pocket. Now, because I have so many friends all over Canada that are dealing with polycystic kidney disease, I texted on Facebook. I just got the call. I just drove to the hospital.
I remember that. I remember seeing that.
And oh my God, the number of posts, I know you sent the post as well. And oh my God, I'm emotional again. It was something because my liver doctor, who's now the director of multi-organ transplant, he came and see me. And he said, "So you decided to get the old gang back together?" And when I thought about it, he said it with such a ear-to-ear smile. And so, really, I said? Then it hit me that he was talking about himself, Dr. Matrakos, who my kidney doctor in 2005 called him and said, "There's a patient that you need to see because she's got cysts on her liver," and so on. "Okay, is she available in 2 days?" He took me in 2 days, this Dr.
Wow.
Matrakos. And Dr. Chaudhary, who's the now director, was doing his fellowship. And so Dr. Matrakos and Chaudhary were the ones who de-roofed 7 cysts off my liver back in 2006. And Dr. Chaudhary was not even married when I had him. So, I used to see him once in a while in the hospital, and I heard that he got married. I congratulated him. Then I heard he had 2 kids, and the last time I spoke to him, he had 3. So I said, "Wow," I said, "I guess you're going to be losing a lot of hair, with father to 3 girls, like." I don't like to talk always about the disease. I
get it.
I have to break away from that,
Because we lived with it. That's why we lived with it for so long. You want that separation.
That's right. So when he came to see me and he had this ear-to-ear smile, he says, "You're in good hands. You've got the old gang back together, and it's going to be fine." At that moment there, I said to him, "Look, if it goes well, I'll thank you now. But if it doesn't go well, I'll thank you now for donating whatever is non-PKD to whoever needs it, because at least my eyes can see the sunrise. Like somebody can smell the flowers. Like, somebody can love again." Like I told them all this. He puts his hand, "Yeah, like a true mother," he said to me,
Oh my gosh.
And I told them, I said, "My kids know, my husband knows that if I don't make it, my wishes should be respected." And that's it. So they bring me into the room, the OR. They bring me into the OR, and my husband is waiting outside. A half hour after. Oh my God. Yeah, it's like my kids call me Niagara Falls. So here I am.
I get it.
So I was a half hour in the room. Like, I remember myself being on the stretcher, but then nothing else. Like, when they say count backwards or count to 10 or.
Yeah, I never get past 8. I don't remember.
I don't even remember counting. I don't even remember counting. It was freaky because usually before every surgery, I remember, and spell your name. I would never get to the last letter of my name. And I don't remember counting the numbers. So half hour in, my husband's just outside the door in the hallway, and he sees a police officer with two red coolers.
Mm.
And he says, but he goes, I'm supposed to bring these. He goes, for a transplant, yes, but they didn't tell me what room. So he says, it's that room. If it's two organs, it's that room.
It's for my wife, this way.
He said, that's probably for my wife. And so the surgery started at about 12 something. And I was out for 4 days. I lost apparently 5 liters of blood.
Oh
They had to go in 4 times. At one point, they had left me open because they thought they might have to go back again. And I woke up on the 5th day.
Oh my goodness.
And I was so loopy that first day. I was so loopy. I feel a hand over here and somebody touching my hand. I woke up. Peter, it's you. I don't know what happened. Like my sister, my husband, brother, and the wife came to see me. Apparently, when I was starting to come to, I said, "Oh, Anna, oh, how are you?" And I would apparently nod my head, but I don't even remember any of that. I don't remember any of that. Apparently, they came so many times to see you, but to see me, but I don't remember any of that. And so, when my husband came and he was there, I said, Peter, it's you. I love you. I love you. And every 2 minutes later, I love you. And another 2 minutes passed. I love you.
Oh my
Then
goodness.
Christopher's waiting to talk to you. And so Christopher, he did FaceTime. Chris, I love you. So then he called my other son in Barcelona. Andy, I love you. And then about a half hour would pass by, but I thought it would be like half a day because I didn't know my time, what time it was. Okay, FaceTime Christopher again. I love you, Christopher. I love you, Christopher. FaceTime Andy again. And so my son is at work at different times. I'm in the morning, and it's afternoon. He's still at work. So call Andy. Okay. I love you, Andy. I love you. And so I kept on doing this to my husband. And then the day after my son, Christopher, came, and they both thought something was wrong with me because I kept saying, I love you. I would take my son's hand here, my husband's hand here. I would look at one, I love you. I would look at the other, I love you. I
Do you
couldn't keep
remember this?
quiet. I remember saying I love you, I don't know how many times. And my son and my husband said, Dad, I think, there's something going on because mother is repeating the same thing. And Peter was getting worried, actually, because I said it so many times. And he was getting worried.
Did you talk to the doctor about it?
Well, I think so, because right outside my room, there was a nurse's station. Like they were constantly, like I didn't have 2 minutes of peace, let's say. They would come, they would look in my eyes, they would check the IVs, everything's okay. My numbers apparently were okay. And I was actually peeing, but I would say to Peter, I gotta go to the bathroom. No, you can't go to the bathroom. No, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I don't have any energy. Then I found out I had a catheter and so on and so forth, and until a certain point, I had a tube in my mouth. And I would go like this, and he would say, no, it's okay. You have a diaper. Okay. But then he told me that I had a catheter. And, it was weird that I needed a catheter. I couldn't
Couldn't wrap your mind around everything. It was a lot.
it-
You couldn't wrap your
I
mind around everything.
and they didn't tell me anything
Mm-hmm.
about the fact that they had to go in 4 times, that I lost 5 liters of blood, that they had left me open. I didn't know any of this. I
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Because I guess my husband knew I was going to be scared, and and so they kept me nice and calm and sedated, and whenever I had pain, and boy, did I have pain. And I I started, the staples. Like I had staples like from the middle of my chest down to my belly button and then go this way. That
Mm.
was for the liver. That
Wow.
was like a U or L
Yeah.
sort. That was for the liver. My kidney, what they did is that they did an incision over here.
Mm-hmm.
Like normally you would do a what do you call a hernia incision here, but I thought that the kidney was going to go more up. Instead, they put the liver here because I still have a cystic kidney here and a big cystic kidney on this side. My right kidney is bigger than my left kidney. So I asked my husband, so did they take the kidneys out? I know they don't take the kidneys, but
Mm-hmm.
because I was so big, I thought, maybe they took out the kidneys. And my husband said no. He says it would have been a greater surgery, a much more complicated surgery if they would have. The doctors came constantly. I was on the 10th floor of the Royal Victoria Hospital. The doctors did their work and they were professional and they were so kind and they were so, like I said, compassionate. But the nurses, I did a special post thanking all the nurses because I was there 33 days. And the nurses and the assistants, the PABs, as they call them here, um, I can't say enough of them. How they encouraged me to walk later on, how they encouraged me to eat. The nutritionist, what do you call the specialist when she checks if you swallow your food properly?
Like a gastroenterologist
No,
or
she's auto. No, I can't remember. Anyway, after they took off the tube, they wanted to make sure that I could swallow,
mm-hmm.
right? Because I was thirsty nonstop, drinking water, water, water. And I had bags, 2 huge bags, one placed next to the other, because they were flushing me, right? They were flushing me. And thankfully, my kidney started working instantly.
That's
I
beautiful.
I I couldn't believe it, how much I was peeing. Excuse the language, but
No, it's okay. That's
it's
okay. Pee is
from going,
good. Pee is good. That's what we want when we have a kidney transplant. We want that pee.
yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
and they were constantly testing the urine, and so
Mm-hmm.
they were measuring how much the output was, and so on and so forth. Those nurses, daytime and nighttime, I can't thank them enough because they were so sweet, so compassionate. That guy gave me a second chance.
Yes,
He expects me to respect his organs. He did
exactly.
this for me. So I need to respect him.
Mm-hmm. He did his part. Now you have to do your part, right?
And
That's what it boils down to.
and there were moments when they took off the catheter. They put on a diaper. Being I don't know if it's just the fact of being Italian, but being proud,
Mm.
you know, um, I would be embarrassed to call the people to change my diaper. And the doctors told me, don't dare stay in a wet diaper because you're going to pay the consequences afterwards.
Yep.
And
Yes.
because my kidney was now working, and they constantly gave me fluids, I was peeing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they would come, sorry to bother you again. I said, but I need my diaper changed, and whatever medication they gave me would help me go.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a female technician taking care of you, that's one thing.
Mm.
But when you have a man taking care of you, you feel so embarrassed, so I don't know what the word is, I felt such shame,
Mm.
like this guy is cleaning my behind,
But here's the thing, though, Louisa. He's used to doing that. You know what I mean? That's his, and I understand where you're coming from. Like you said, it's a pride thing. You know what
it's
I
a
mean?
pride
That's
thing.
we're used to doing this ourselves. This is something that we're used to doing. And honestly, the only other person that I expect to do this would be my husband when time comes, when I get older, maybe my daughter. You know what I mean? Not a complete stranger in the hospital. That never crosses our mind. Right? So I get where you're coming from.
You
I
know,
understand.
I told my husband, I said, if I pee again, and then I said to him, if I pee again, maybe you'll change me the doctor instead of bugging them. He said, okay, fine, I'll do it. It was only pee, right?
Mhm.
So he happened to be changing my diaper, and this technician, PAB, comes and he says, and so what? You decided to give me a break? I already had my break. What are you doing? He goes, this business here is between me and her, not you.
There you go.
Yeah, you're married and all that. And like he was a Barbadian, and
Mm.
with this um, um, uh, this air of how should I say this? Almost comedic, right? He would say, "Okay, slam bang, thank you, ma'am. You see the
Oh,
curtain? You see the curtain, sir? Close it behind you. It's my business with her now. You trust her? Do you trust her?" And my husband says, "Yeah, I trust." Like, like if it wasn't for these people,
bring light and joy to the situation. He knew that you were feeling uneasy. He knew you were feeling uneasy. So try to
you
make
know,
light of the situation, make it easier for you, make it easier for your husband. I love it. I love
it's
it.
there's a community that's been built with PKD patients.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're all together on a messenger group and we all help out each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing when these people, last year, these people came to the Walk to End PKD. From last year, they saw that I was losing weight and I wasn't strong enough and so on and so forth. And many of my friends, especially some neighbors down the street who are, I call them my sisters from another mother, um, they picked up what I couldn't do. And they
Mm-hmm.
told me after the walk, Luisa, if you can't do the walk next year, if you can't do it next year, you just tell us what to do. You sit on your behind and you tell us what to do. Well, they called me in January. And I said, oh my God, am I going to be strong enough for the walk? So my cousin and my husband took over. But my good friends who have been veteran volunteers at the walk, registering people, giving out T-shirts, giving out goodies, and so on and so forth. They formed a messenger group, and Luisa, don't worry, the walk is going to go on. And uh, since March, like we were planning, and it was a success. There were more people last year that I wasn't there. And the doctors from the hospital went and participated. They were interviewed. The politicians, every mayor in the surrounding cities of DDO who recognized September 4th as PKD Awareness Day all these mayors spoke. My federal representative, my member of parliament who represents the area, he spoke. My provincial member of parliament, she spoke.
Do you know anything about your donor?
I've written a letter, and I put this letter together to send it to Transplant Quebec. You have to send it to Transplant Quebec because they're the ones who then approached the donor's family. All I know is that the donor's family asked how I was doing.
Mm.
About a week later, they asked how I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hopeful that I could show them that, yeah, I'm here thanks to their loved one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my liver is digesting thanks to their loved ones. My kidney is getting rid of my toxins just because of their loved ones. So, you know, I want to show them that thanks to their loved one, I got a second chance at life to be with my husband and my kids.
And that's the thing about donation. People don't realize this side of donation. There's a lot of fear behind it. They don't see your side, my side. You know how we have that second chance.
Did you ever meet your donor?
I know my donor. I know her. I talk to her. We see each other online. Her name is Christy. Her name is Christy.
Oh,
and we're still in contact. Yeah, we still see each other.
I remember. Oh, see, there's a lot of stuff that I forget.
No, it's okay. Yeah,
It's
so
true.
we're still in contact. And like I said, if people see that this is the impact when you donate, I think if they just put aside the fear and the stigma, and I get it, it's surgery. It's major surgery. There's a lot of thoughts. Oh, if I give them, I give them my kidney, then what happens to me? Does that mean I'm going to die sooner? Like there's all that stuff, that miscommunication. You know what I mean? But stuff like this, episodes like this, help open people's eyes and help them realize, you know what? This is the outcome. This is the outcome when you donate. This is the outcome when you sign that donation, put that your signature there, or now it's electronic.
It's a miracle.
Yes.
A miracle come true.
Thank you. Luisa, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your story.
I probably took longer than you expected.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's an amazing story.
I'm so happy to see you, and you know.
I'm happy to see you. So happy we got to finally do this. I said I have to talk to her. I need to talk to her, find out what happened. I'm so happy you shared this with us. Shared your journey from beginning to surgery. I want to know, what is it that you really want to do once all is said and done, and you're back to normal. You can go outside and you don't have to worry about restrictions and restricting who could come to your home and all that stuff. What's that one thing that you just really want to do?
Well, I want to have all the volunteers over at the house. We couldn't get together during Christmas. So I had prepared myself early with Christmas napkins, Christmas plates, the Christmas tablecloth. So we're probably going to have Christmas in July in my backyard.
Beautiful.
I can't wait. I'll be wearing a mask for sure, even though it's outside. But I can't wait to hug them because they're a source of strength. Without all their strength, they lifted me up.
Especially when you needed it. They were there for you all the time.
And so how can I not
give back and just say thank you?
How can I not thank them? Yeah, writing a note is one thing. I've written notes to everybody, but
face to face, in person, nice big hug, looking at them in their eyes and telling them thank you.
Exactly.
Yes. And that's gonna be another massive party and another situation that everyone's gonna be talking about for a long time.
Yeah, it's I don't know. My father was always the type of person that, my mother used to say, my father had fig trees. From one fig tree, he went to a second, to a third, fourth, 9 fig trees. Every one of my father's friends wanted a a child from the fig tree, in the sense that my father had to cut a portion of it so that they can then have their own fig tree.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother used to say, but is it possible that every Tom, Dick, and Harry that you meet, you bring them over here to the house?
Someone, it sounds like someone I know.
I, you know, I guess that's a good bad habit that I picked up.
There you
Bad
go.
habit, whatever.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm
Jeanette, it was so nice to talk to you. You let me
Yes.
talk freely, and I really appreciate it.
Green table talk, hey.